Welcome back, everyone, to another Eats Beat Live, the most delicious live stream in the Metroplex. I'm Bud Kennedy.
And Steve Wilson.
Everybody's talking about barbecue right now. We have all the new barbecue choices. I think Goldie's new rib shop, Ribbies, is open on the south side of Fort Worth. Heim has some happy hour specials. Hurtado opened a new location in Mansfield. So today, our guest also has a lot going on. Here's Chris Magallanes of Panther City Barbecue in Fort Worth. Hi, Chris.
Hello, good afternoon.
Oh, man, Panther City has been in the news over and over again lately for new restaurants and new kitchens and everything else. I don't even know where to start with Panther City. I guess the first thing to tell people is about your new purchase downtown and what you're doing with Bailey's and what you're not doing with Bailey's. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so a couple of months ago, or probably about 3 months ago, we had a interesting little opportunity come about that made us aware that Bailey's was possibly up for sale. So we really weren't looking to expand or buy a new get into a new venture, but it just piqued our interest a little bit. But I actually have a brother that's a few years away from retirement, and he's been wanting to get into the barbecue game. He's always hanging around the restaurant and wanting to kind of learn what we're doing. So we sat down and actually talked about it, and it came out to be a good deal for us. That it'd be a good little venture to buy into and buy out the Bailey's name and the restaurant and start operating and getting it ready for him here the next few years.
Well, Bailey's has been around. It's been around more than 90 years in downtown Fort Worth. It's been a typical commercial barbecue place, done things the way the family did it for 90 years for most of that time. And it's a kind of a budget barbecue shop. It serves a lot of downtown workers and good lunches and really good spicy pulled pork. So tell us a little bit about what's new at Bailey's and then what you're keeping.
Yeah, absolutely. So we wanted to be mindful of the history of Bailey's and gauge people's interest in what they wanted to keep around. So, one of the biggest things is the price point, of course. And then also, like you said, the spicy pulled pork is real popular. So we are going to keep those specials around where you can come in and order the Bailey's Classic, which will be the chopped or sliced sandwich, and then the spicy pulled pork as well. But we will be updating some stuff to modern times as far as cooking styles. It won't quite be craft barbecue. We won't be using prime cuts of meat, but we will be upgrading some of the cooking styles, making homemade sides. So you will see some prices raise a little bit, but we still want to keep that price point way below where you're seeing the craft market right now.
That's at 826 Taylor Street downtown. It's at Taylor just south of 7th, near the Federal Building downtown. It was a Star Telegram lunch mainstay for 70, 80 years probably. And, we're not downtown anymore, but it's still some place we talk about and miss. It's open. What are the hours now? Is it 10? It opens at 10:30, so you get a good early jump on lunch. And what are the rest of the hours?
Right. So right now it's operating Monday through Friday, 10:30 to 2:30.
So you actually answered the question my wife asked. She said, let us know if they're still doing the specials, because that was kind of like, the lunch special. You come in there, you get in line. Usually you see a line of people coming right out of that federal building, going right across the street into Bailey's. Of course, Star Telegram was half a block away for the longest time, so we see it there a lot.
Right. You would see a lot of people walking back. You see a lot of people walking back with that brown lunch bag with a little barbecue sandwich in it. What are the desserts you're adding, and what are the sides? And so tell us about what's going to be new.
Right. So, starting from the top, we will have our basic barbecue menu. So we will be doing the brisket, pulled pork, sausage, turkey. We will have ham on the menu. We're still playing with chicken if we will have that on the menu. We will have the beans. We'll have the pinto beans, coleslaw, potato salad. We are bringing the brisket elote downtown, so you will be able to get the cream corn base as a side or upgrade that to a brisket elote. And then we will be adding the desserts that we have over at Panther as well, which is the Nutter Butter Cheesecake Pudding and our banana pudding.
Well, this is really going to be good. This is just different enough. You don't think it'll hurt Panther City business that it's a different price point and a different market? How do you plan to balance the two?
Right. So that was really a big concern of ours because it's less than 2 miles away. How do we open up something and not compete with ourselves? So like I said, that different price point, it's not quite the craft barbecue. They're going to be different flavors. It's going to be really simple recipes, really simple rubs going on the meat. That's going to help us keep that price point down. But I would just classify it as a more simple barbecue. So it's going to be a little bit of a throwback to the old without going into the craft prices as well.
And you're talking about prices. It comes along just at a time when everybody is really complaining about the price of barbecue. When barbecue is getting into the $20 and $30 a plate, it's starting to pressure all the craft barbecue places. And I mentioned Heim in the opening. Heim has actually added some $10 barbecue specials at happy hour and try to respond to some of that price pressure. You were kind of ahead of the game by having a mid-price barbecue restaurant.
Right. Yeah. You really have to be conscious about that these days. There's so many people coming into the craft game right now, and it kind of is what it is when you start with a high price brisket, a prime brisket like that. And then the more complex your recipes get, the more expensive that does get. So we want to keep it simple, pay attention to the smoke that we do put on it, and then just make it tender and good, just good old fashioned barbecue.
Well, we've been talking about Bailey's 826 Taylor, nearly 100 years old. Now let's talk about Panther City at 201. You can call it East Hattie, East Pennsylvania, whichever map you're using, but it's right off I-35.
Right.
What's new at Panther City? You have night hours now. I tell people to go like late on Sunday afternoon's a good time.
Right.
What's new at Panther City?
Yeah, so some time back we did start dinner service. So we are doing, we are Wednesday through Sunday. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday evening, we stay open until 8 p.m. and we pretty much have the whole menu almost all the way to the very end. So you've got a really good shot at getting in even mid to late afternoon into the early evening to get some good food there. We've also taken on some live music with some of the music scene venues that have closed down. We've been taking on more artists. So we actually have a music jam that happens Wednesday evenings, and then Thursday evening we have a blues jam as well that used to take place down the street at off of Berry Street.
So you sent me a picture.
Yep.
What is this called?
That is the Hecho and Southside platter. So the made in Southside platter that offers a really good mix of everything on our menu based on the Tex-Mex side. So you've got your Texas Trinity brisket, ribs, and sausage, but you've also got a good mix of our flacos tacos, our brisket quesadillas, our brisket elote, and then it comes with 2 large sides as well. So you see the collard greens and the borracho beans in that picture.
Now, how many people are supposed to eat this?
That will feed 10 to 12 people.
Okay, because I was going, that's a lot of food.
Yeah, 10 to 12 very hungry people.
And what about this is the corn?
Yep, that's the brisket elote. So that's a play on the Mexican street corn. So it's got a cream corn base with brisket, queso fresco, hot sauce, cilantro, lime, and jalapeno.
And let's see what else. Oh,
yep, another shot of that brisket elote along with one of our sandwiches. That looks like the Southside Slammer sandwich.
Yeah, it looks like it has like sausage and brisket and
yeah,
pork.
You can't see on the bottom. So it starts with a thick slice of smoked bologna on the bottom. You got sliced brisket, you've got pulled pork, you've got sausage, and then it's topped off with a pork belly burn-in. So that's really a good sandwich to order. You can open up that bread and eat it open face and sample several of our
And what was that called again?
That's the Southside Slammer.
Okay, so I'm going to try that.
How you've been doing this for 10 years? How has the business evolved? You've grown, but how has your whole operation evolved since you started out as a food truck there on Hattie?
It's been pretty crazy. Yeah, exactly that. We started out as a food truck there on Hattie. Mid last year, we actually purchased the Republic Street Bar, which was right next to us, and built a new kitchen onto that. So we do have full indoor dining right now. So we've got the indoor dining room. We've got a patio outside with a makeshift stage area for live music. And then we've got the covered pavilion outside as well. And then added more smokers. So we've got a total of 7 smokers on site now there at Panther.
And what do you see going on in the barbecue market right now? We have all these the explosion of places opening up, still a tremendous demand, but what's changing, or how's the market changing? How are customers' tastes changing?
Right. So right now you're seeing a lot of really adventurous things going on in barbecue. You've got Sabar Barbecue down the street from us doing Pakistani flair barbecue. So it's just branching out further and further into the different ethnicities, bringing their culture into the barbecue, which keeps it interesting for us because there's 3, 4, 5 places within a 3-mile radius, everybody has something different to offer. So it really keeps it interesting for the for the consumer.
You can make a good little loop of Southside barbecue. You could actually you could start at Bailey's at 10:30 when you open it up, and then you could
Yeah,
come out
that's
to the
right.
south side and you could go to Panther, you could go to Hurtado, you could go to Heim, you could go to Bricks. You have all those restaurants serving the medical district right there. And you
Yeah,
mentioned the Middle East barbecue that's right down the street.
yeah,
Oh, and
absolutely. Yeah.
you could go to Smokeaholics too, right?
There you go. Don't forget Derek over at Smokeaholics. Really
Yeah.
good stuff down there.
Derek over the other side of the hospital has got soul food and barbecue and does a great job with both. What's the barbecue culture? Is everybody still pulling together? The barbecue guys are all the guys who have restaurants still helping, swapping, sharing equipment, sharing information.
Pretty much, yeah. We're all a pretty tight knit group, just knowing what it takes to go through the barbecue world and the average day in barbecue. We talk to the guys a lot. We're all pretty busy right now, trying to keep things going just because there is so much barbecue right now. And, everybody's trying to find their groove, trying to find their own special, unique ways to put it out there. But yeah, we're all on a good terms.
And you ran Dane out to Alito, so you don't have to worry about him in the town.
Yeah, it kind of got crowded, so that was a good move for him. Those guys are going to do great out there. That's really good for Alito.
Now you've also been in the headlines. I don't want to be too specific, but you've had a disagreement with another restaurant owner here about some equipment that seemed to show up in somebody else's parking lot, and has there been any legal action filed on that yet? Is there a civil action or anything we can talk about?
No civil action. They did apprehend the actual pit thief,
Okay.
but it wasn't on our case. It was on another case that we were able to get video evidence over to police on that case, and they charged him with it and arrested him.
And so it was some of your equipment that wound up in the parking lot of another Fort Worth restaurant.
Yes, we had a trailer pit, a $30,000 trailer pit that was stolen out of our parking lot.
Yeah, this has been a little social media drama that's gone on, and I'll just have to let you read the Panther City Barbecue Instagram pages to read all about that.
Yeah, for
Steve,
sure.
Steve, is there anything else? Oh, are you still doing the women's club? Did that work out?
We are doing the women's club. So right now it's members only. We serve lunch 3 days a week, but we're also their preferred caterer. So they are keeping us extremely busy with catering.
What are the ladies having you smoke for them?
Well, we're not. Yeah, we're not smoking. We're actually doing more of like a salad, soup, sandwich type menu. But we have done a couple of barbecue caters, and we have more on the books right now for that. So we're really doing anything. Actually, on Valentine's Day, we did they did a Paris fashion show. So we did Chateaubriand, some salads and stuff like that. So we're just doing whatever they ask.
You did a Chateaubriand.
Yes.
For the women's club. Did you ever dream you'd be saying that 10 years ago? Did you ever dream you'd be doing
Never.
for the women's
Did,
club?
did you actually smoke it, or did you just
Never.
like?
We did. I had to put smoke on it. We had to do it. Yeah, we're always going to put our little touch on it, but it does keep us on our toes, and it expands our culinary menu there a little bit. Just having to learn new things to keep them happy, and they're a great group. They welcome us with open arms over there, so we're really having fun with it.
And that's really incredible thing. And all the things that you're doing now, Chris, you're not even old enough to remember. In the old days, every luncheon or dinner you went to in town was either catered by Colburn's or Vance Godby's, one out of the two. They would line up with a barbecue, and you're becoming the big operation almost on that kind of scale where you can drop in and do anybody's food service. Is that your goal?
I think the goal is just to cook. We love barbecue. We love smoking food. So it just gives us an excuse to do it more often. That's it, really.
Oh, and I may go back and ask you about Bailey's. Do you have a new name picked out or a tinkering with the name at all? Or
we do. So we had a lot of discussions with the extended family of Bailey's. That was our first concern, is if they wanted to keep the name up on the building, that we would absolutely do that. But heart-to-heart discussions, they were actually beyond that. They said it is time to change. All the family that has either passed away or moved on and moved out of the immediate area, they really weren't concerned with keeping that name up there. They said it's really time to move on. So we will be releasing a new name, and we just kept it plain and simple. We didn't want it to be about us or our name or Panther City. Even though Panther City is a moniker, we kept it simple, and it will just be known as Fort Worth Barbecue Company.
Fort Worth Barbecue Company is the new name. So
Fort Worth Barbecue Company.
I think you've just released it.
That's it. Breaking news.
Well, okay, Chris, this is great. Steve, anything else for Chris? I mean, I almost want to jump off camera and go get lunch. So,
Yeah, I'm
Steve,
thinking it's time to go get some barbecue. And what was the name of that sandwich again? It was the
The Southside Slammer.
Southside Slammer. Okay, I'm making a note of that. No, I think I'm done. I'm ready to go eat.
thank you, Chris Magallanes, 201 East Hattie or East Pennsylvania, just off I-35, just south of downtown Fort Worth, the highest rated barbecue restaurant on a main street that you don't have to go down the back road to find in Fort Worth, and then now also the operator of Fort Worth Barbecue Company, the coming name change at 826 Taylor Street in downtown. And soon maybe we'll hear about the Women's Club too. Thank you, Chris, very much.
Thank you, guys.
Until next time, I'm Bud Kennedy.
And Steve Wilson.